Top 10 Manhwa or Manhua, where MC is Reincarnated Part 2. Looking for a Manhwa or Manhua where the main character is reborn? Look no further than this top 10 list. Hi, it's me. We love anime back again. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 10 Manhwa and Manhua where the main character is reborn. If you are looking for a new Manhwa or Manhua to read, then this list is for you. So before I begin, be sure to check out the first part and also subscribe for more top 10s. Starting off with our number 10, A Stepmother's Marchen. I really like how the main character is not looking for romance, although it seemed like she would. She only acts motherly and like a family towards children, even though she went through a lot because of them in her previous life. Not quite the stereotypical time travel story, as the female lead doesn't construct her own downfall the first time around. Instead, she is murdered during an attack on her coach when traveling through the forest, which sends her back to the past, where she is determined to foster a better relationship with her children the second time around. The plot progress is slow but well-paced, so it does not feel as though it is dragging. It is highly detailed and well thought out, so it is very intriguing. The artworks adapt to fit both the serious and comical side of the story, and the clothes appear to be well within the time period, which is a nice change for once. Would definitely recommend reading. Number 9. The Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master is a rather weird, reincarnated in a different world story. Not only it is Korean, but the plot also jumps in the weirdest ways. Juyun-oh is a typical guy trying to find a full-time job, but one day he dives into an Han river and puts himself at risk of drowning to save a child that fell in. As he is about to meet an untimely death, a goddess appears before him and gives him a chance at another life, not as a hero or wizard, but as a weak, skillless brick larva. It's the beginning of an atrocious adventure, and the road to becoming a hero is long. Give it a try if you are prepared to handle a long wait before the story continues, if it ever does. Alternatively, you can give it a try to check out the weird storyline. Number 8. My Civil Servant Life Reborn in the Strange World. He was on his way to buy some beer to celebrate his acceptance as a civil servant when he was suddenly banged down by a truck and sent to another world. Reincarnated as Denberg Blade, the son of a legendary battle racist chief, he slew demons at the age of 8 and dragon at the age of 12. Subjected to the Spartan-style training of his muscular monster of a father, he lived an inhuman daily life. I must leave this place that is far from peaceful. Safety is the best. So he chose to be a civil servant of the empire. Can Denberg really become a civil servant and live the peaceful, stable life he wished for? Number 7. Why would a villainess have virtues? A revenge manhwa with the most delicious art and the most attractive people. I like revenge manhwas when the characters are not overpowered and have a clear goal for revenge, with realistic methods and reasoning for each of their actions. The female lead in this manhwa has been cast aside by her party mates and been made a scapegoat by the man she fell in love with. This angers her and she decides to destroy the people who made her a laughingstock. The male lead enables her to do so by uniting under a contract and changing her appearance. It's another one of the contract marriages, but executed wonderfully, with both characters being ruthless when needed. It is quite good for a villainous revenge manhwa. Number 6. The Rebirth of an 8th Circle Wizard. Henry Morris was an 8th Circle wizard who was a legend, one of the founding fathers who helped his friend become the king of a unified empire. After the son took over the throne, Henry was executed with the false accusation of leading a rebellion against the empire. He then wakes up in the body of young Henry Morris, the eldest son of a baron family who also happened to have the same name. Henry turns his life around by again relearning magic and also swordsmanship in order to become the first magic swordsman, all for the sake of the revenge. Moving on to our number 5, Asmodean's Contract. I really enjoyed this story. A unique story about a princess who makes a deal with a demon to live in her place and take revenge on her evil stepmother. Can our demon female lead survive in the human world? On top of that, Can he survive the castle as a princess? Eurycina, the daughter of the Demon King, has always wanted to become a full-fledged demon by making her first contract with a human. That's when Princess Marianne of the Pagan Kingdom summoned her to take revenge on Queen Orpheus, who poisoned her, and asked Eurycina to live in her place. Overall, the characters and the story are full of life. Such a promising plot that is so interesting. Such a good read so far. I seriously recommend this story. I am incredibly invested. Number 4. Reincarnation of the Suicidal Battle God. Zephyr is the last human fighting evil in a world abandoned by the gods. When he is killed in battles by Tartarus, the god of destruction, all hope for humanity seems lost. But Zephyr's fate is not sealed. The gods who find his battles entertaining have gifted him a second chance at life, as he is sent 10 years into the past, back to when he was a slave instead of the most powerful human alive. Can Zephyr get his revenge against Tartarus and save the woman he loves, or is he doomed to repeat the past? The beginning is good, the MC is interesting. I have high hopes for the next chapters as well. Number 3. A Red Knight does not blindly follow money. Strong female lead with a good mind and excellent sword skills. After dying at the hands of her backstabbing superior, money-grubbing Judith learned the hard way that bounty is never worth bloodshed. When she somehow finds herself alive and well, 6 years prior to her death, she decides to use her second chance at life to abandon her greed and become a genuine knight. She begins by accepting Captain Kailau Lewalmake's offer to join the Honorable Order of Red Knights. Will Judith be able to redeem herself by overcoming the wrongdoings of her past? Anyway, a pretty solid time travel webtoon with a sensible female lead and sensible male lead. Number 2. The way to protect female lead's older brother. You are in for a ride with this one. The plot is gripping, the art is phenomenal, and the characters are interesting. It's definitely twisted, but it's beautifully twisted. The plot moves at a reasonable pace. The reading experience is pretty intense. The world building is nice and there weren't many explosion dumps. I enjoyed reading how the female lead deals with the situation. The events are interesting and the backstories flow well with the present story. This story was a breath of fresh air. Even though it starts out with the generic isekai theme, it quickly grows into a fascinating work of art. The character development is very interesting and I can't wait to see where the story will go. I found many of the twists and turns unexpected and appreciate that the story isn't as predictable as others. One thing that sets it apart is that the female lead definitely has a squared moral compass, thanks to her family, and it is interesting to see her walk the line of sanity and insanity as she tries to survive in a twisted environment. And finally, number 1. The villainess is a marionette. A working woman was reincarnated as Kaena, the most beautiful princess of the empire, a villainess and one who is destined for death. She realized that both her and Kaena's past were the same. They were both controlled and manipulated and in the end discarded. To prevent her future ruin, she must first cut the string as a marionette and scheme for survival. This is a really good story. The art is exceptional and every panel is just beautiful. The female lead and male lead are beautifully drawn too. The character designs aren't the most unique, but the art makes up for it. I think the female lead is a well-written character. She is beautiful, intelligent, and manipulative. It's rare to see a female lead like this and I absolutely love it. The male lead's personality is cute too. Although the story is quite cliché, it's still compelling unlike other villainous manhwas. Anyways, I would like to say this manhwa is amazing. Okay people, the above were all the best recommendations by We Love Anime. I hope that you will like at least one of them. Each manhwa is perfect in its own way. The majority of the manhwas follow the same concept of revenge and reincarnation in a fantasy world but with a different plot. Also subscribe for daily top 10s.